There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Schaeffer's Oil 14th Annual Spring Fling, presented by Team VLR right here from the Sprint Car, capital of the world, which for the next two nights is going to be the super late model capital of the richest paying iRace event to right now, $16,000 purse. Huge money on the line. Ben, we've been talking about this thing, and this is going to be awesome. This is going to be a great two-day program.
Yeah, Jerry, I'm really excited to be working with you, and I think this is the third or fourth year I've done this event, and it's just really entertaining. It's cool to see the mix of the virtual wheelmen, the real-world wheelmen. You throw them all together, and man, as you said, $16,000 on the line. Last year, Hagen Cardwell got the win. He won $4,000. This year, somebody's going to win $5,000. Last year's total purse was around $14,000. This year, it's over $16,000, and again, just Schaeffer's Oil, all the sponsors, want to thank them for making this possible, and I just want to welcome everybody that's tuning in to watch this on a perfect Wednesday night to get this kicked off. Prelims tonight. Tomorrow night is championship night at Knoxville Raceway.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. 120 entries, 2 servers tonight, 2 servers tomorrow night. Of course, our format for this evening, just to bring you up to speed, we'll have some we'll qualify 60 cars. And if you're new to iRacing and you're just watching because you were like, oh my goodness, Ben Shelton is announcing tonight, we got to watch this, because they're like, oh, J-Van's doing it, big deal, heck, we'll watch him anytime. But if it's your first time coming to this, maybe you've heard it, maybe your friends are racing it, maybe whatever, and it's your first time to watching iRacing or Sims racing, the way it works is we can only put 60 cars in a server. So 60 entries go into a server. So we'll run server 1 here, and then we'll run server 2. So we split them down the middle. It was some random goofy draw they did it. So at the Salina truck stop, moments before everybody pulled in. They left the lot and they found found whatever, and they headed over this way. But we'll have 5 heat races tonight, Ben. And it looks like there'll be 8 laps in distance, and top 4 out of those go to the A main qualifier number 1. We'll have then a D main, which is 10 laps in distance, top 4. To the B out of the 4, which out of the B main, they'll take 4 to the A in 30 lap qualifiers tonight. So that's kind of a little bit of a quick synopsis of what we're doing here.
Yeah, and it's important to note that, as we said, the top 4 out of each of the 5 heats move off to the main event. Then we take the top 4 out of the B main, 24 drivers. Guess what? If you're not in the 24 in the feature in this server or the next, you're not even eligible for the non-qualifiers race tomorrow night. So if you don't get into a prelim tonight, your chance at $5,000 out the window. It's going to be interesting to watch, especially in those B mains, as maybe the Christmas card list gets a little bit shorter in the closing laps for that final transfer spot.
Well, I think in the heat races tonight, the Christmas card list is going to be very, very short. I mean, there may be some guys' mothers, brothers, sisters, cousins, fathers that'll take them off the list because they adored somebody that they were actually hoping beat them. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great night. Like I said, this the 14th annual, and it is the richest paying iRace, and it's hard to believe that this iRacing and the sim deal, Ben, we've both been involved in it throughout the course of the handful of years. But last year at this time, it's hard to believe that this was the only thing racing going on. It's hard to believe where we are a year ago from where I was doing 4 or 5 nights of sim racing because we couldn't do 4 or 5 nights of outside car racing. And it's amazing how this thing exploded.
Yeah, I think it's probably better we didn't know a year ago, right around this time, that we were still going to be trying to figure things out in another year and maybe getting closer to the resolution. But yeah, iRacing definitely exploded. It was huge. Usually this is the only race I did. I actually ended up doing a few league races for a few other leagues because, man, you're around the house. What are you going to do? Might as well jump on here and talk about some race cars. The viewership numbers were huge on those because people were starved for racing, and it was really good, I think, for iRacing events like the Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling to educate the general public that, hey, this is legit. I had a friend that I saw about a week after I did this event, and he goes, where the hell did you go see a race at? They were allowed to race. And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, I was watching this race online. You were announcing. I said, buddy, that was a video game. He's like, there's no way. It looks so real. And it was great racing. So I said, well, maybe you had a few too many of the Crown and Cokes. But yeah, it was indeed, an iRacing event. And it is. This thing has blown up. And we're very thankful to have real world racing back where we can go to those tracks on the weekends. But I think it's cool to see how this iRacing is still thriving.
Oh, it is, and it's amazing how it, as you said, it keeps everybody in the off season, keeps them moving, keeps them going, and I think we're about ready to start some qualifying here.
Yeah, see high performance qualifying. This is going to set the lineup for the 5 heat races. So these are very important laps for these drivers as it will set up the grid for each of those 5 heats. And also $125 from Chris Ferguson Motorsports, his esports division, in conjunction with Majulis and C Speed Shop. So some bragging rights and some money on the line to start that pursuit of a $5,000 payday.
Oh yeah, quick time pays tonight, and there's a lot of things that are paying tonight that normally don't pay. Of course, the iRacing, iFly, great to have them on board. Weber's Valet Speedway, or Weber's some racetrack down there that the Bang Bangers are at. 127 Industries, the Salina 52 Truck Stop, Chicken Bone Alley Podcast, Mud Duck Racing, Majula C Shock Setup Shop. See High Performance. Let's see tonight's A-Main winner, the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. I mean, there's just so many people that have come on aboard for this thing that it's going to be crazy awesome. Yeah,
the A-Mains tonight, and both servers sponsored by Wonky Day Clothing Company. I feel like I need to get me a Wonky Day t-shirt. I feel like I need to add that to the arsenal. You got to love Wonky Day Clothing Company. We appreciate their support and everybody making this possible. And, man, I tell you what, very exciting. A lot of money on the line. $5,000. Wrap your head around that, Jerry. $5,000 is going to go to the winner of the 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling.
Yeah, I am trying to wrap my mind around $5,000.
I mean, that's what you're being paid tonight and tomorrow night, so you can wrap your head around that.
I mean, I'm getting 5,000 somethings. I'm not sure what it is.
Well, they're IOUs, and that's better than cash, so you're going to want to hold on to those.
Exactly, because you can cash you can't keep forever. IOUs you take to your grave. I mean, I feel privileged. I mean, it's going to be awesome. And you know what's nice about this is really in the real world, I'm only 40 minutes from the racetrack right now.
That's pretty good life. I'm about 40 minutes from my home track, Riverside International Speedway in West Memphis, Arkansas, and I get to go maybe once a year. Well, Jerry, I tell you what, I think we're going to step away for a second. When we come back, we're going to have C High Performance qualifying as we get set to kick off the 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling.
Another night, been working all week and got myself right. When you're on a loud pedal, it ain't time to make friends. I didn't come the wrong second, I came here to win, yeah. It's go time now, grip your wheel real tight. We ain't Nascar nice, it's a dirt track fight. You wanna make a name, you wanna go far, you gotta outrun the best of Team BLR, yeah.
All right, well, welcome back. Oh, excuse me. Welcome back to Knoxville for the 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling here, presented by Team VLR. Ben, is qualifying underway, getting some with all the action that's happening. We had a little technical difficulty. We're back.
We had such a technical difficulty. I got so excited, Jerry. I actually went in the wrong damn server. I was so excited to be here. So loading up the servers, we get set to go. And the first half of the night, it's going to be a big night, doubleheader night, split field, kind of like you're going to have at Boone Speedway with the World of Outlaws this weekend with the Hawkeye 100. We've got split fields. And again, everybody wants to be in the top 12 in their prelim tonight to lock into tomorrow night's main event.
So now I think we're ready for qualifying. I see the clicker. Clicking.
You're saying there's a chance.
What, I did hear that back my senior year of high school when it came to the prom. There's BJ Duvall on screen in the B32. We'll see how he runs here. Of course, in C performance qualifying action here at Knoxville. 2 laps on the clock. Of course, everybody's going to get 2 laps. We'll show different cars running through, and we'll show the clicker up here as soon as they get clicking off. So with kind of a quick, it's group qualifying, but it's not group qualifying.
So you're saying it is, but it isn't, is what you're... That sounds like the most politician dirt track promoter thing I've ever heard. It is, but it isn't.
Easy. Hey, it's sunny and 70. It's always sunny and 70 somewhere on race day. I mean, I've been the guy on the phone. Speedway. Yep, we're racing. Is it raining? Not yet.
No rain.
Look at that so far, Ben. Daniel Powell quick with an 18.112 so far. Randall Carter, Ryan Underwood, Jordan Casey, and Clay Debon right now your top 5. And this is the who's who of iRacers in these servers tonight, because it's big money. It's just not the me's and you's out here trying to make this thing happen.
No, it's loaded up tonight. And as you said, Kentucky's Daniel Powell at the top of the leaderboard right now, 18.112 by only 5 thousandths of a second. That's tight for that top spot. And again, the way they qualify is going to line up these 5 heat races. And as you said, nobody wants to go to the hooligan races. Nobody wants to be in the D main, the C main, or the B main. They want to get in out of qualifying. And just like that, Damian Kiefer goes to the top of the board with an 18.104. Track has dropped off about a half a second from the times that we saw in practice.
Yes, it has, as they work on around. You see Howard Weaver on the clock in the 07, 15th fastest right now. 15th fastest as they hustle around the big half mile here at Knoxville. Oh, here he is. Gage, we're going to see it. Gage Martinez, not in a bang-banger.
Well, he's got a bang-banger motor in there, but he is not in a bang. And how about that? Blake Cannon going to the top of the leaderboard. Always a perennial challenger when it comes to the Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling. 18.090. We're flirting with the 17-second bracket here in qualifying.
Blake Majulis. Man, I look fast. Ain't real quick tonight. 19th fastest, now back to 20th. Majulis, old moneybags there, the 127 out of New York, working around there as he is hustling around. Blake Cannon still top of the hill. Dylan Yeager, Adam Hommerding, Damian Kiefer, Daniel Powell, your top 5. Lane Dugas on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, that's your top 5 right now. 18.090 is still the time to beat. 7 thousandths of a second faster than Dylan Yeager. And that, I do believe, is going to wrap up qualifying. How about that? Blake Cannon, your fast qualifier. And he's going to pick up $125 courtesy of Chris Ferguson Motorsports Esports, Majulis, and C Speed Shop. They're in C High Performance qualifying as we get set now for heat race number 1, Jerry.
Like you said, top 5 qualifier is going to be your P1 starters in tonight's 5 heat races. Your iRacing iFlag heat races coming up. The first 3 iRacing iFlag heat races. We will see Blake Cannon on the pole into his outside. That'll be Randall Carter driving for Team VLR.
Howard Weaver starts inside of row 2. The Tennessee driver into his outside, Jerry Flippo. He's going to start in that 4th starting spot.
There he is, Blake Majulis driving the 127, the Team D1RT machine rolling off into 5 spot, and Eddie Farnes driving for Blue Groove Motorsports in the 2-1.
Starting back in row number 4, the 101, that'll be Brent Evans into his outside, the 12 of Ben Countermarsh. He will start in the 8th starting spot. As now we're getting back into the guys, Jerry, that have really got their work cut out for them.
You bet. Once you get out of that top 4 rows, like row 5 with Austin Hunter, and Justin Robinson for HRE Motorsports. Those guys are going to have to come running.
And moving back to guys starting deep in the pack in this one, it'll be Tyler Knight and Hagen Sorensen looking for 12 cars, 8 laps. Top 4 will move on, and caution laps, well, they're not going to count here tonight.
No, it's like real racing. They don't count. Oh, boy, look at this. We've gone to the Dingus. Ooh, you know, if you ever go to Knoxville, you got to go to the Dingus, and then you got to go to the Rib Shack.
You know, if you go in the Dingus and you blink, you will actually have walked out the back door of the Dingus. It's a pretty small place, but a ton of history there.
Oh, so much. I may have been sideways, upside down, and twisted at that place before. So, beautiful beautiful site inside the VIP suites here at Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
It's amazing what, like you said, you can see in the because this is the first time I've seen. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been in the suites at Knoxville, but this is the first time I've ever seen iRacing in the suites.
Have you ever legally been in the suites? Is the question.
I've announced in Knoxville, yes, and so I've got to be in the press box legally and illegally sometimes. But yeah, no, I get on both ends. Been over in the Brian Clausen suite. Of course, Bob Baker, good friend that runs the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum.
Great guy.
Always, whenever you're coming, let me know.
Great guy. Well, I'll tell you what, we're getting ready to kick the tires and light the fires here in heat race number 1, presented by iRacing iFlag. Top 4 to the big show. Top 4 to the prelim, I should say. Winner will start on the pole. Cannon and Carter bring us to the green flag. We're underway.
Green flag will come out. We'll race them on around. Of course, 8 laps the distance. They'll work them into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be Blake Canada, the early race lead. Howard Weaver's going to hold it there. Jerry Flippo, the IMCA modified racer out of California, as we are already to the first caution. And hopefully these things don't breathe.
Yeah, they have a way of doing that, especially when big money's on the line. But the first caution is out. As we'll see if we got that lap complete or if it's a complete double foul restart. Blake Cannon got the start that he wanted. It was a hornet's nest behind him.
Ooh, and then there was somebody took a look up under Eddie Farnes's skirt and got it. Did not get to the fun house because he went turning around. So that was our first caution. Is there a first caution? No, Kurt, no first caution.
Counter Marsh, but yeah, got in the back of him. Saw that instant replay from UltimateDirtTV. This deal's being streamed all over the place. There's a lot of different places people can watch. We get the drone up now. He's pulled out all the stops. We have drone footage from high atop the Marion County Fairgrounds and Knoxville Raceway. As we're going to try to get this one back underway. Countermash given an end-of-line penalty. Charged with a caution on that one.
So he's in the pit lane right now. So we'll see if he comes back out. But yeah, gets one of them ELOs.
And again, no chance of redemption either, Jerry. If you don't make a prelim tonight, you don't even get to run the non-qualifiers race tomorrow night. So it is imperative you at least get into that 24-car prelim field here this evening.
You must be there. So looks like we'll probably run another lap around. That's going to put Randall Carter the outside of road number 1. Like we said, taking a look there, like I said, Jerry Flippo there in that 12 car. I think he's picked up 3 or 4 IMCA modified feature wins out in the western part of the country, out in California. So that 13 car spending his Wednesday with us here and spent a lot of time with us on UltimateDirtTV this winter, racing a couple leagues with us. So got to see Jerry there and seen what he can do across many lines of cars. So I think we're ready, Ben. We're going to try this one again. It's 2.0.
Cannon on the loud pedal, back underway, and he got a commanding start the first time. Another good-looking start this time as the field works down through turns 1 and 2.
There you see Carter goes high to 37. Here comes Majulis, the 127, and Howard Weaver. Weaver's going to throw it in there. Now we're 3 wide down into turn 3 and 4. Majulis will roll the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Brent Evans. It's going to be 2 wide back there for 5th as Sorenson's on the move in the 45.
Fantastic battle. Oh, hang on to it as Majulis slid up the racetrack. He'll get it back together as right now only 4 drivers move on. And these drivers know that we're clicking off laps in a hurry early in this one.
Flippo using the lip there on the bottom side, caught the berm with the snoot, let that thing roll to the top. And here comes Hagen Sorensen, the 14-year-old racer out of Harlan, Iowa. His dad raced late models for years out in the western part of the states and out in Nebraska. We'll see if he's got some things to do and say about coming to the front. As you see, it's Cannon, Weaver, Majulis, Flippo. Right now, those are your top 4 transfers. And man, it is a hornet's nest of excitement right behind them.
Good stuff back in the pack, guys, trying to make moves. Meanwhile, right now, Weaver having a good run early in this one, reeling in Cannon, catching him and passing him. 2 different things, though, as they ride 1 and 2. Majulis watching that battle unfold in front of him, and back and forth, Jerry Flippo in that 4th and final important transfer.
Blake Cannon out there, Weaver there in the 2 spot. Majulis and Flippo, your top 4. Taking a look, riding along right there. Look at this great shot with Blake Majulis as he finesses the racetrack here at Knoxville. You see a lot of moisture still in this thing. It's still early as they work down into turn number 1 and 2.
Through 1 and 2, right through the middle. Slick on the bottom, good moisture from the middle up, and it's been Cannon taking advantage of that as he leads the field off into turns 3 and 4, completing yet another lap he's led since the drop of the green flag. In this one, white flag's out, Jerry, one more time around the speedway.
White flag at the starter stand. Blake Cannon working your iRacing iFlag heat race number 1 down the back straightaway. Final time, Weaver's going to take a shot at him down to the inside. Nothing to be had. You know you just got to be in the top 4, and that's what you need. Blake Cannon, Howard Weaver, Blake Majulis, and Jerry Flippo all punched their ticket to a qualifying feature here tonight.
Brent Evans, Carter, Sorensen, Robinson, everybody else, they're going to have to try it in the B main a little bit later. And right now, no rest for the wicked as we get set for iRacing iFlag heat race number 2.
There you see it's Blake Cannon, Howard Weaver, Blake Majulis, Jerry Flippo. Then it's Evans, Carter, Sorensen, Robinson, Hunter, Barnes, Knight, and Countermarch. They get to go to the soup buffet. Heat race number 2 getting ready to come to the racetrack. Did you like that? They're going to go to
that was good stuff.
There's Dylan Yeager driving the 48 out of the Rockets Racing setup, and Mike Augustine from Pennsylvania in the 72.
Cole Cabre starting inside of row number 2 in the Dirt Racing 51. Gage Martinez trying to make a splash. The Texas driver starting outside of row 2 in position 4.
Going to row number 3, it's Felix Roy from north of the border up there in Canada, and Austin Carr in the 24.
Back in row number 4 in the Drew Hopkins Racing number 36, it's Derek Keltner to his outside, James Grace, and car number 269.
Then we're going to go to Richard Murtaugh Jr. in the 33 of the Rocket Racing setup, and Cody Rensloff in the 525 out of the Midwest region.
On the back row out of Algona, Iowa, it's Zach Trunkhill and the 011 and Tyler Blankenship to his outside.
That's Zach Trunkhill.
He's trouble.
Oh,
he's trouble.
I'll leave my stories with Zach to myself. No, just kidding. Zach's a great guy. Works, of course, with you guys at Flow. Well, we all kind of work together at Flow in one way or another. So, taking a look there, we'll see what he does there. There's Gage Martinez, the old Chicken Bone Alley, Martinez Welding, Yoder Farms, the Monterey Missile. I mean, that Gage Martinez, he is a famous driver. I mean,
he's famous because he owes everybody money, so that makes him famous.
We don't talk about that, you know. That's an IOU. Well, yeah, we do. Yeah, I just love his mullet and stash.
Don't we all? Just jealous can't have one too. Well, we are underway here in heat race number 2, and to the lead is Yeager's. He works out of 2 down the back straightaway. Good battle behind him.
Down the back straightaway, you will see Cole Cabre got company as here comes Mike Augustine. Augustine's going to throw it there. Martinez to the outside. Look at this side by side for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Martinez goes wide. Right below him's Austin Carr. And now look at this 3-car battle for the number 2 spot.
Right now, they got to keep their nose clean early in this one. Top 4 move on out front. Yeager has a 0.3 of a second advantage behind him. That's the battle right now. Cabre trying to hold on to the second spot. Augustine and Martinez in the hot seat. Now back to 5th as Austin Carr moves up to 4th.
Like we said, Dylan Yeager is G-O-N-E gone on this one, but look at this. It's Cole Cabre, Austin Carter, and Mike Augustine. Augustine on the bump right now. Gage Martinez trying to steal his way through the field as they hustle on down the front straightaway. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Martinez has got Felix Roy to the inside as we hustle down the back straightaway.
Working down the back straightaway, working lap 4 of this 8-lapper. It's Yeager, Cabre, Carr, and Augustine, your top 4. Right now, Martinez on the outside looking in.
Looking out of the right side of Gage Martinez. You see him sawing that wheel as he tries to get on up there. James Grace in the old 269 looking fine back there in the number 6 spot. But like you said, You're going to go to the soup buffet if you've got 4th on back. You want to be at least 5th, because if you're racing for 5th and you're finishing 5th, you're in the B main at least, Ben, and then you've got a better shot of making that A tonight.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's better than being in the B than starting in the D. Out front, Yeager, your leader, as he continues to hold about a 0.4 of a second lead over the field, coming around with a couple of laps still to go in heat race number 2, presented by iRacing iFlag.
You got a pair to the air, and Dylan Yeager right there. Cole Cabrera there, leaving the left front at home, doing her Jimmy Gustin style here at Knoxville. Racing her down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Yeager has had this thing from the point, from the drop of the green. He'll look at the white flag this time. Down the front straightaway, Yeager, Cabrera, Carr, and Augustine. Martinez one out looking in.
Augustine right now in that final transfer spot. Martinez running out of time. As out front, it's been Yeager since the drop of the green flag off of turn number 4. He'll work the cushion to the checkered flag. It's Dylan Yeager winning heat race number 2. Cabrera will come home in the 2nd spot. Carr in 3rd, and Augustine in your 4th and final transfer.
So there's your next 4 making their way into tonight's A main, the old Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. A main number 1 coming up here later this evening here in server number 1. Of course, we'll have server 2 coming up later after this, waiting for the official results. And here we go. Taking a look, your top 4, Yeager, Cabrera, Carr, and Augustine. Then Grace Keltner, Roy, Murtaugh, Retzloff, Trunkhill, Blankenship, and Martinez will all have to race again.
It went south for Martinez right there, then got collected in a little bit of a scuffle, if you will, and that is going to put him starting at the back of the D main, which is where you definitely don't want to be.
You bet. Well, let's take a look at heat race number 3 here for your Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling, presented by TeamVLR.com. Adam Hummerding in the 42 car going to be on the pole, and Ryan Underwood driving the Team VLR hot rod to the outside.
Starting inside of row number 2, a throttle masher and a half. It's Jordan Casey, the Wisconsin driver, in car number 42. To his outside, it'll be Greg Perkins from my neck of the woods, just south across the border in Mississippi. He'll start outside of row 2 in the 4th position.
There you go. Row number 3 is going to be Bryce Bailey from New York, and then it'll be driving for Slick Sim Sports, Dustin Hall in the 331.
Row number 4 will be Mason Lobb in the Slam Sim Sports number 28. To his outside, Tyler Reed in the 58 will start 8th on the grid.
Gregory Rory goes row number 5 to P number 9 there in the 16, and Lucas Chowding out of the Mid-South region drives the 49.
And on the back row, Michigan's Brendan Cascadden and Lane Dugas, another Mid-South racer, starting 12th on the grid, 12 cars, 8 laps the distance. And once again, the top 4 move on. This is heat race 3 of 5 here this evening at Knoxville Raceway as we kick off the 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling with Team VLR.
Here we go. So, hey, if you're watching on any of the social media sites, give us a shout out. Share some stars like Karen did. Thank you, Karen, for the stars. Of course, stars are like sponsorship. You'll donate a little bit of money towards the broadcast. It'll do you great favors. So check on in. Let us know where you're watching from. And oh boy, look out! There was trouble in turn 1 and 2. Holy cow, Ben! There was a skirt raiser back there.
And right off the bat, as fast as the green flag comes out, it's quickly replaced by the yellow, as there's a whole lot of taken and there's no given. So we go to the UltimateDirtTV instant replay.
We'll take a look at it right along with Greg Perkins, as he was the one that, well, hang on a minute, just bobbled a little bit. And then the 331, Dustin Hall comes across and says, hey, look at this. And then, well, it was all out from there. A little bit of chain reaction. Everybody just kind of getting together there. You see the 42 Hummerding sliding up the or the 42 car sliding up the racetrack, and you just had to wonder if the 4 had to back it down a little bit at Perkins, and then it was like walking over the last step of the snap-on truck after that.
That's when it all goes bad. When good times go bad, my friend.
Yes. Every Wednesday at the dealership. They go over that step. I go in the snap-on truck just to see how it feels.
Sometimes you fall off that lift, though, and it hurts twice as bad. So always keep that in mind.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Well, Hummerding and Underwood, they're going to get a second chance to get this one underway as your front row lining them up. 0 laps down, still 8 to go in this one. Heat race 3 of 5, as we said. After the 5th heat, we'll move into D main action, then the C, the B, and the A. We'll take the top 12 off to tonight's Wonky Day Clothing Company 30-lap prelim. Top 12 out of that one lock in tomorrow night's Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling finale with $5,000 on the line. And after we finish up this server, we're going to have so much fun. We're going to do it again. We're going to move over to server 2, and this one's done, and we're going to lock 12 more drivers into the big show tomorrow night.
You bet. The Lake Havasu City, Arizona racer, Adam Hummerding, sitting there up on the front row along his outside, Ryan Underwood. Going to bring this thing. They'll bring the field on down off of turn number 4. The green flag comes out, and we're going 8 laps of racing. The Elizabeth City, North Carolina racer up on the outside as they work down into turn number 1 and 2. Boy, howdy. Jordan Casey, look out. There's contact right side. Romance coming.
That almost went really bad. Somehow we stay clean and green, though, with Hummerding out front. Underwood working on him. A little beating and banging back in the pack as the natives are getting restless back there for that 4th and final transfer.
Oh, Ben, you talked about it in the pregame. The Christmas card list will become very short by the end of each server as they run them on down. Adam Hummerding, your race leader, Ryan Underwood, Bryce Bailey, and Dustin Hall right now. Your top 4 cars. Gregory Rory working one out, looking in, and 5th on back is going to get racy. They come up off the berm on the bottom of turn 1 and 2.
Right now it's Gregory Rory on the outside looking in as the caution flag waves. Caution on the speedway here with 3 laps complete and 5 to go in heat race number 3 as we'll go to the UltimateDirtTV instant replay.
Lucas Chowning here going to be involved in this one. Like we said, you just saw him. You catch that berm here at Knoxville off the bottom, and I don't care if it's an iRacing or real racing, that thing upsets the car. Well, not amazing, but a lot more than you think it will when it does that. Things go awry just like the 47 car.
I think sometimes that you don't catch that berm catches you, and then it does what it wants, and wow, Chowning, hard contact. With 3 down, 5 to go, it's Hummerding out front, Ryan Underwood in 2nd, Bryce Bailey in 3rd, and Dustin Hall in that 4th and final transfer spot. Rory, Reed, Lobb, and Jordan Casey, a little uncharacteristic, sitting back there in the 8th spot as he's got his work cut out for him with this one with just 5 laps remaining.
So we watch some more of the incident and accident up there in turn number 1 and 2. We'll get ready to go.
It's never good when the right front is completely detached from what looks like the frame. That's never a good situation when the upper and the lower are no longer part of your program.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of crashed cars that come through the body shop that we got to work on. And when the whole front end, I don't care if it's a race car or your passenger car, when the whole front end's knocked off, that means that you probably didn't have a good time.
Or you had the best possible time you could have. It's one or the other. There's no in between. You just had the best time of your entire life, or you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, you either messed up real good or you messed up real bad.
Or somewhere in between. Well, right now, Hummerding's messing up real good. He's keeping everybody behind him. And I tell you what, out of the 3 heats, Jerry, it seems like this one has had the most carnage, if you will, as guys really not giving an inch as we get set to come back to the green flag.
I will watch them up. They'll stack them up, rack them up down there in turn number 3 and 4 here at the Sprint Car, capital of the world, here for your Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling here on Team VLR. Watching us here on Ultimate Dirt TV as we get ready to hustle on down. Ryan Underwood going to take a look to the inside. The North Carolina racer down on the bottom. Hummerding to the top. They'll work wheel to wheel off of turn number 4. White Castles are served, and we're bringing the Crave Case down the front straight away.
Big slider, it takes him to the lead. Now hang on as the berm is going to bite Hummerding, and he's going to slide up the racetrack, and that's what Underwood wanted to see. That gives him breathing room as now Hummerding's going to come under fire from Dustin Hall and Bryce Bailey.
Dustin Hall, the Columbia, Missouri racer, coming to the bottom, and like he said, big crash down in turn 3 and 4. Cars upside down, and huge crash down there in turn 1 and 2.
Well, there's 2 cars that you can get a heck of a deal on right now as they're going to be on the clearance rack. Big time contact down in 3 and 4.
We'll take a look and watch the replay here as I guarantee it's going to get crazy. And somewhere there's apparently that you know what happened? The steering in the 42 of Jordan Casey broke. That's exactly what happened.
The gas pedal probably broke too, and it stuck to the floor. What a...
Well, I have seen that. Yes, the cat stepped on the pedals. So you see right here, it just, something had to have gone awry as the car just goes straight and then boom into the fence hard, and then the 16 car upside down. Gregory Rory, he goes for a hard ride.
Well, you blink, Jerry, and just a second ago, Rory was on the outside looking in, trying to get into that 4th and final transfer. He rode in 5th, and then he goes from that to on his lid. So that's probably about as bad as it can, as fast as it can go really bad. As right now, Underwood. How about Underwood with that slider down in 3 and 4 to take the lead over Hummerding? And after that, Hummerding, I think he gets a little bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card. That caution comes at a good time because he was falling back into the clutches of Dustin Hall and Bryce Bailey after he bobbled a little bit.
Yeah, you got to wonder, and we'll see what happens. Is this going to be? It's going to be a GWC here, green, white, checkered. So you've got to be on it to want it is what you got to do here, because you got to want that top 4. If you don't want it, well, then you probably aren't even here to. You're probably just here to be here. But we know 5th on back doesn't count, as well as 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So we're going to watch this here, as hopefully it doesn't get aggressive this last lap and a half.
But perhaps it will as we come back to the green flag. Ryan Underwood mashes the loud pedal. Great start for Underwood, and we are back underway. And how about that? Dustin Hall now coming after Hummerding for that 2nd spot. He'll take it away. Hummerding turns back down the hill. They're 4 wide briefly back there for 2nd on back.
Look at Mason Lobb in the 28 car. Lobb has just wheeled that thing through up into the number 3 spot. 4th right now is Tyler Reed as they come down looking at the white flag, this time at the starter stand here at the Marion County Fairgrounds. Down the back straightaway, Ryan Underwood, Adam Hummerding, Mason Lobb, and Tyler Reed, your top 4. They'll make the final 2 left-hand turns. Look at that. You saw Hummerding take a big shot at your race leader. Down the front straightaway, it's going to be Underwood, Hummerding, Lobb, and Reed, your top 4.
Wow, you got to give it to Hummerding. He threw the Hail Mary down in turns 3 and 4 and couldn't quite get there, but heck of a job. Ryan Underwood taking the win. As you said, Mason Lobb picking up that 3rd spot. He moves off to the main event, taking Tyler Reed with him as we get set now for heat race number 4. And the fireworks are definitely starting to fly, Jerry, as we saw a lot of guys leaning on each other in that one, with Ryan Underwood getting the win, Adam Hummerding in 2nd, Mason Lobb 3rd, Tyler Reed 4th, and then from the B main on back, it'll be Brendan Kiskadden, Greg Perkins, Dustin Hall, Gregory Rory, Bryce Bailey, Lane Dugas, Jordan Casey, and Lucas Chowning in that 12th spot. That's how they crossed the line in heat race number 3.
I've wondered why they always call it a Hail Mary. It's supposed to be like this thing that's this last-ditch effort, and they throw the ball or they make the swing. I remember the first time I heard the Hail Mary thing is when I went to confession for the first time, and I had to say 72 Hail Marys and 13 Our Fathers because I had not had a good week.
Or you had you had a really good one. We get set now for
very memorable.
I like it. We get set for Weber Valley Speedway Heat Race number 4 on the pole. It's going to be Damian Kiefer in car number 15, and to his outside, Jason Salter in the Rocket Esports entry.
It's John Ruggiero Jr. driving for Team D1RT, and Kendall Tucker from Swindale Speed Lab.
Row 3 will be Austin Matthews, and to his outside, it'll be Caden Honeycutt in car 37.
Going to row number 3 or 4, it'll be Brent Rowles for Vanderpool Racing and Brandon Marlowe for Team DTJ.
Starting inside of row number 5, it'll be Florida's Scott Dobbs in car 29, and to his outside, it'll be Carolina's Brooke Trammell in car 22.
Then we'll see the Dawsonville, Georgia, the outside outlaw. That is Chris Oriancina and Jesse Osborne driving the 20 car.
Not Ozzy, Jesse starting 12th on the grid in this one as we get set to come to the green flag. 8 laps, top 4 move on. Weber Valley Speedway Heat Race number 4.
I've always wanted to go to that place.
I don't think you can get there from here. Green flag is out, Jerry, and we are underway in this one as your field works down the front straightaway off into 1 and 2. Hang on to it. Ruggiero with a big slider. He'll go to 2nd.
John Ruggiero Jr. working at the number 2 spot. Kendall Tucker and Jason Salter have now moved into the top 4. They'll work off at turn 4 down the front straightaway to lap number 1. Damian Kiefer, your race leader, but look at this. It is a 3-wide battle down the front straightaway. We're to the caution flag.
Cautions have ruined more good races than anything else in our sport, and we saw it right there as things were heating up back behind your leader. Great start for Damian Kiefer, the Show Me State driver in the 0, leading the way in this one. So we go to the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay, and let's see what went awry. Oh, a little few love taps back in the pack, and that draws the caution.
And a Tommy tip over.
A lot of guys getting upside down tonight at Knoxville.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, it's the sprint car capital of the world, and those guys get upside down, so the late models might as well. We saw the zoom-out shot on that Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. I saw the Casey's across the street. I would maybe give my left pinky for some of that Casey's pizza right now.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but I can have it any day.
Yeah, I would weigh 1,000 pounds if I could, because it's a good thing they don't have any of those in Memphis. That's one of my favorites right there. Taco John's and Casey's General, 2 things we don't have in Memphis that I eat way too much when I'm on the road. And hey, man, the Dingus. We're looking at the Dingus. You go to the Dingus, you don't go to eat. That's for sure. You go over there to have some nice, cool, flavored water.
Yes. Brown waters are served good. And then the Rib Shack, anytime Joni and the gang at the Rib Shack always do a great job. But apparently the parking lot, they have a problem there. And, if you get in trouble, the Knoxville Medical Clinic that's sometimes the ambulance got to take them there. We haven't had anybody that bad down there yet. But,
well, you don't know. There could have been a fight in the pits. There could be 4 guys over there right now.
There could be. They could have been fighting over some pit lights or something.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. But yeah, the Rib Shack, extremely good stuff. Looking forward to getting back to Knoxville here in 2021. Right now, looking forward to getting back to the green flag. Complete double file restart as Damian Kiefer, Jason Salter bringing us to the green flag. We're back underway, and 3 wide for second already as your leader Kiefer gets the whole shot off into 1 and 2.
Kiefer will get that whole shot, Ben, and then look at this. Behind him, it is going to be a little bump and grind action down for 2 and down the back straightaway. Ruggiero, Tucker, and Matthews go 2, 3, and 4. Now look at this. They're 3 wide, deeper in the field. These guys are going to be on it down the back straightaway, now down the front straightaway, still hammering to catch that top 4.
Working lap number 3, and it's Kiefer leading the way over Ruggiero Jr., Kendall Tucker, and Austin Matthews. Man, 4 heavy hitters right there in the top 4. Then Marlowe on the outside looking in, back there in position 5.
5 is where you don't want to be in this one, but it's still not bad. It's a good B-main starting spot. Is the 10 machine of Jason Salter coming to the inside of Caden Honeycutt. Big crossover move and a drive down the hill by Honeycutt in the 37 as he will run back to the inside, and here comes the 10 of Salter. Watch his great battle back there for the 5 spot.
Fantastic battle right now. Marlowe will hold serve for that spot. Honeycutt's working on him, though, as out in front it is all Damian Kiefer. From the pole, he's led the whole way so far. John Ruggiero Jr. sits in second. Kendall Tucker third. Austin Matthews in fourth. Nothing changing right now on your top 4.
Pretty boy out of Bloomsdale, Missouri, working the number 1 spot, Ruggiero. John Ruggiero back there in the number 2 spot, hustles it on in, trying to keep pace with him. The Lincoln, North Carolina racer hustles that 2 spot as they work off of 4 and down the front straightaway, just past the halfway point. Now looking at 3 to go.
Good battle right now for second. Ruggiero's got the spot. Kendall Tucker, the Mount Airy, North Carolina driver, with a big slider down in turns 1 and 2. Ruggiero turns back down the hill. That's the best race on the speedway right now for the second spot.
I will watch him down into turn number 3 and 4. Ruggiero and Tucker, to and fro, top to bottom. They'll slide each other. They'll hustle side by side down the front straightaway. Tucker to the bottom. You betcha. Crave cases at the drive-through. Back to the inside. Ruggiero going to return the order as they hustle down into turn number 3.
Great battle. Kiefer says, have at it, boys, right now, as he's trying to creep away from him. Ruggiero Jr. up the track. He has second right now. No, it's going to be Tucker to the inside. Tucker by a car length and to the checkered flag. What a finish in that one with Damian Kiefer taking the win. But what about Kendall Tucker, Jerry, making some moves in those final few laps?
Oh, I tell you what, he was shaking, baking, and chocolate cake making is what he was doing. He was trying to make that way to the front, but just sliders at Knoxville, they can come and go just as quick as you dish them out. But Damian Kiefer, Kendall Tucker, John Ruggiero Jr., and Austin Matthews. Those are your 4 cars directly to the A. Honeycutt, Salter, Rowles. Then it'll be Marlowe, Trammell, Orencina, Dobbs, and Osborne to the soup buffet.
Well, Just like that, we got 4 heat races in the books, and heat race number 5 is making its way to the grid. And here's how we're going to roll them around now as we get set for another 8-lapper on the pole. It'll be Daniel Powell, the Mid-South driver in car 32, and the perennial favorite in these events, Alex Bergeron. He'll start outside of row number 1 in the Team ABR Esports entry.
Taking a look, driving for Team D1RT, it's Clay Debin, and then Steven Wilson to his outside.
Row 3 will be Ashton Braggs in cart number 11 to his outside. Fresh off a win down at Milton Raceway, Jesse Enterkin from the Hunt the Front bunch. He'll start outside of row 3.
There you go. It's Josh Ray in the 77 from the Mid-South region, and Tim Christensen driving there in the 5-6 out of the Midwest.
Moving back to row 5, it's BJ Duval in the Team Outlaw Motorsports entry into his outside. Dylan Thomas. Thomas with his work cut out for him in the 0-3.
Dusty Lander is going to roll off there deep in the field in P11. So that'll be your starting grid for your 5th and final Weaver Valley Speedway heat race here tonight.
How about Daniel Powell and Bergeron on the front row? Bergeron, that potent number 12, starting alongside of Powell in the 32. Who is going to win the drag race to turn number 1? We're about to find out.
You got Kentucky and I was going to say Kentucky and the Canadian up on the front row looking for the green flag. They come down the front straightaway. It's going to be a drag race into turn number 1 and 2. Daniel Powell slides it across as it'll be Bergeron going to drive back down to the inside. Alex Bergeron looking for the lead. Boom, bang, got it by the time we get to 3.
Big slider for the lead. Can he hold it off at turn number 4? Yes, sir, he will. Alex Bergeron leads lap number 1. Powell sits in 2nd. Devin back in the 3rd spot. And Steven Wilson in position number 4.
Ooh, hang on. Big swing by Ashton Briggs on the 32 machine as they hustle it on in there. Briggs will move on into 4th, put Steve Wilson back into the number 5 spot. Racetrack doing what it does at Knoxville. It widens out to the top, puts that ring of cushion around the outside Armco. We'll watch him move it up the rest of this server as they hustle down the back straightaway. Bergeron, Powell, Devin, Wilson, and Briggs now battle for 3, 4, and 5.
Powell catches the fence through turns 3 and 4. They're going to get together behind him as Devin shoots the 2nd. We'll stay green, but now Powell's got his hands full as here comes Jesse Enterkin on the move in the Hunt the Front number 1 slider. Can't make it work as Powell turns back down the hill. Best battle on the speedway right now back there for position number 4.
I tell you, this thing right now, Ben, is racy from, 1st and 2nd gone. 3rd on back is a barn burner as you see Jesse Enterkin working right there in the 1 machine. Now going to take a look here. Watch the 11 right behind him. Ashton Briggs slides that thing from top to bottom, trying to find some speed or, at least scrub it off so we can make that thing turn left in a hurry.
And right now, Powell gets over the cushion. That opens the door. Enterkin's going to shoot to the inside, and Jesse Enterkin shoots up into position at number 3. Powell back to 4th. Can Ashton Briggs get to that battle? It's a heck of one. Meanwhile, out front, Alex Bergeron, half a second advantage over Clay Debin.
He is gone on this one. Bergeron out front, followed by Devin, Enterkin, and Powell. Dylan Thomas now to the number 5 spot as these two back here going tooth and nail, trying to make something happen. But you almost have to be comfortable, Ben. If you're in the top 4, you got to be comfy. You got to be like wrapped up in a quilt going, okay, I'm in the show. Tuck me in. I can make this happen.
Well, one more lap to get tucked in or to go to the B main as Bergeron leads the field off 2 down the back straightaway. Devin sits in 2nd. Enterkin's firmly in the 3rd spot all by his lonesome, and Daniel Powell back there in 4th. Final time through turns 3 and 4.
Off of turn number 4, picking up heat race number 5, presented by Weber Valley Speedway. It's Alex Bergeron from Canada. Clay Debin going to the number 2 spot. 3rd will be Jesse Enterkin, and Daniel Powell goes your 4th and final transfer car to the A main. Oh, heat races in the books. That's so. The one thing I like about iRacing, the heat races are quick.
Yeah, good stuff, man. We had a few little hiccups there, but once things got rolling, good racing. Alex Bergeron takes the win. Devin in 2nd, Enterkin in 3rd. 4th and final transfer was Daniel Powell, and then it was Dylan Thomas, Briggs, Ladner, Wilson, Christensen, Josh Ray, and BJ Duval rounded out the field as now they are already getting set for D main action. This will be a 10-lapper. The top 4 will go to the back of the C main. And if you're in this one, Jerry, you got your work cut out for you here tonight.
You don't want to be in the D, but if you've got to be in the D, you want to be up front, and that's like Tim Christensen is there along with Eddie Farnes. That's your front row.
Zach Trunkhill, the Iowan, starts inside of row 2 to his outside. Lane Dugas will start in the 4th position.
Chris Oriancina there starts P5. P6 is Josh Ray.
Moving back to row number 4, Tyler Knight, the Texan, and to his outside, Virginia's Tyler Blankenship.
Then we'll go to row number 5, where it's Jordan Casey and Scott Dobbs. Those are your next cars.
And on the back row, BJ Duval. We just saw him battle bad luck in the 5th and final heat race. And Ben Cowdermash starting to his outside, as we've actually got a couple more starting in this one. I'll roll through them real quick. It's Gage Martinez starting inside of row 7. Lucas Chowning to his outside, and Jesse Osborne on the back row. Looking for 15 entries in this one. Only 4 move on. Would Vegas even let you bet that there's going to be no cautions in this one?
You know, it would probably be a bet you wouldn't want to take. I mean, you know, I do like to bet and gamble once in a while, but I mean, if somebody said, hey, do you think there's going to be a caution in the D main? The odds are pretty high. I mean, BJ Duvall's in this one. I mean, there's guaranteed the Ouija board bandit will bring out a caution.
I mean, you just called the guy out. He almost has to now, or he's going to let everybody down.
Well, I mean, that usually happens with BJ. There's no doubt. He's one of our producers on Ultimate Dirt TV during the Miller Family Trucking stuff, and we have fun with him, so we can always pick on him. Kind of like Zach Trunkhill up there. I mean, I get to see Zach so many times a year when they flow. Of course, if you have never heard of this place called Marshalltown Speedway, just go check it out on Flow. Usually, some of the handy camera work is from Zach Trunkhill, who starts row number 2 on the inside in the Flow Racing.
You know, you've got me sold. That's it. I'm coming there on May 19th. I'm going to come to Marshalltown May 19th. I've never been. You sold me on it. I'll be there. Lights go down on the speedway. We come to the green flag off turn 4. It's Tim Christensen, Edward Farnes. That's your front row. 4 move to the back of the C. Everybody else not just done for the night. They are done for the week.
We'll see what happens. Trunkhill with a big push. Thought he was plowing snow for the Iowa DOT. Oh, hang on. We got a couple of them turned around down the back straightaway and one upside down. The 77 of Josh Ray upside down in front of the Brian Clausen Memorial Tower. We'll take a look here. Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay is going to show us what happens here as things get very tight. 2 and boom.
Well, Raisley, hey man, he was pushing like a dump truck, and then he got a love tap from behind. When your night's going bad, and then it gets worse because you end up upside down.
Yes, that's not what you want to do. So we'll take a look here from up and above, and ooh, he was actually not too bad there. Just got a bump to the rump, and then, well, it was upside down, lights out.
Well, looks like it'll be a complete double file restart. And I tell you, one guy that's going to be happy about that is Zach Trunkhill, because Trunkhill had the dump truck set up on. Let's just call it what it was. He lost 5 spots on the first lap. Should be able to restart in his 3rd position. That's where he rolled off the grid from. As you see the aerial shot of the field pacing around this oval, and you can see the racetrack starting to change, Jerry. You can see it slicking to a cushion up in the corners. It's slick for about the bottom 3/4 of the racetrack, and there's a little bit of moisture between those 2 slick spots, and it is definitely throwing these guys some curveballs.
Exactly, and that's what will happen here at Knoxville. And I don't care whether it's sprint cars or, you know, I've been to many of the Knoxville late model nationals there in September and sat and watched those races, and it is amazing how what the late models do online, you know, on the sim sports, what the racetrack does. It gets characteristic of what you're seeing right here. It's just it stays pretty true to what you see if you're sitting there in person watching supers.
It is a just beautiful facility. Always enjoy going there, and definitely looking forward to getting back this year after not going last year. Beautiful racetrack. It races very unique, very flat racetrack. As the green flag is out, we are back underway in this 10-lapper with Christensen taking the whole shot down the front straightaway. Farnes sits in the second spot, but he's got company as Trunk Hill's going to go around in the number 33 Flow Racing entry. And guess what? Yep, 0 laps, 2 cautions. That's why Vegas wouldn't let you bet it.
Exactly. So Zach Trunkhill, I think he's got the junk in the trunk set up in this car because, it's got 0 drive out of the front. We'll watch him. Here it comes with let's just keep turning left, and it keeps pushing right, and then around he goes, and then curb bang.
So that's the Beyonce setup on that race car is what you're telling us.
Yeah, the Kardashians.
More of the Kardashians? Okay.
Yeah, the Kardashian-powered 33.
Whatever floats your... I didn't know they built motors, but hey, man, that's awesome. We're always welcoming new people to the sport. We're going to look out the back of the race car. You're going to see this race car take off up the racetrack, and once he does, he's a pinball. And really, nobody else's fault. Trunkhill was running one groove, and it was the width of the racetrack, so you really can't blame anybody behind him. And, yeah, it has been eventful here in the D-Main for that driver out of Iowa.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him this weekend and get his take on what happened here.
Yeah, he's a hard-working guy. We had a Castrol Flow Racing Night in America event in Tyler County Speedway in West Virginia back on April 15th. He shot that race for us, and he drove all night pretty much to get to Marshalltown the next day to do another race. And, man, I tell you what, that is dedication.
Well, it's 2 things, Ben. You and I know this from traveling the country. It's dedication or stupidity, one of the 2. Because when he says, I'll see you at Marshalltown, I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. And, he texts me, hey, I just got here. And I'm like, really? And he took a picture. I go, you're kidding me. He goes, no. He says, I even beat Zach. He says, I even beat Matt here. That's a lot of driving in a little time to get there.
Maybe it's both. It's stupid dedication.
That's what it is. I'm going with that.
We'll ride with that one. Well, Christensen's going to bring us back to the green. We've got 1 lap officially in the books, I believe. 9 laps to go. And we're back underway in the D-Main with Tim Christensen out front, and Farnes is going to come under fire right now from Jordan Casey, the driver of the 42 on the move. He'll shove all the way up the racetrack as, man, I don't know how he kept it out of the wall, but he will fall back to 3rd as Farnes gets back to the 2nd spot with Christensen leading the way.
He may not be out of the wall yet as he is getting banged around back there. Remember, top 4, they'll live for a chance to dance out of this one. Top 4 to the A, and hang on.
Uh-oh.
Now we got troubles again off the berm. Gage Martinez gets involved in that one. I think everybody's going to stay moving. We're going to stay to the green. Hang on. BJ Duvall gets into the outside retaining wall, gets a little romance loving up there as it is Christensen, Farnes, Dugas, and Casey, your top 4.
Farnes temporarily closed in on Christensen, that battle for the lead, and now Christensen pulls away. Dugas back in the 3rd spot as right in front of him, right behind him will be Jordan Casey. That battle for positions 3 and 4. Tyler Knight on the outside looking in.
They work down to the east end of the racetrack here at Knoxville. That 18 of Jordan Casey rolling around the top side. 5th is Tyler Knight right there behind him as they work down into turn number 3 and 4. Still Christensen, Farnes, Dugas, Casey. Top 4 looking as they hustle down into turn number 1 and 2.
We're clicking off the laps now, working lap 7 of this 10-lapper. And if you don't want to be done for the week, you got to go right now. Jordan Casey in the 4th and final transfer spot. He goes to work on Dugas behind him. Here comes Knight and Martinez. It's going to get dicey for that 4th and final transfer.
They'll hurry and scurry the front straightaway. You got to be in it to wear it here. Here comes Martinez with 3 to go. Martinez will race it to the bottom. You've got him right there. Martinez is 69. Gage Martinez has raced his way into a transfer spot.
Out front, Christensen leads the way with just a couple of laps remaining. Farnes back in 2nd. Dugas holds on to 3rd, but Martinez is going to take it away from him. Martinez up to 3rd, Casey to 4th, and just like that, Dugas on the outside looking in back in 5th.
Gage Martinez rolling from 13th on this one is a plus 10, Ben. As they hurry down the front straightaway, the white flag is out. 1 lap to go. Christensen, Farnes, Martinez, and Casey, your top 4. They'll work down into turn number 3 and 4. Farnes will look to the bottom. Is he going to be content with 2nd? You betcha he is. He wants to move into the C-Main where it's Christensen, Farnes, Martinez, and Casey, they all go to the C-Main. The rest are done.
Done for the night. Done for the event for Dugas, Duval, Tyler Knight, Arencia, and everybody else. Heck of a race right there, though. Tim Christensen taking the win. Eddie Farnes comes home in second. Gage Martinez 13th to third. Jordan Casey in the fourth and final transfer spot. And as we said, Dugas, Duval, Knight, Arencia, everybody else done for the event as we get set now for the C main. So the good news was, Jerry, if you were in the top 4, your night's not over. The bad news is now you got to start on the back of the C main.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens as it is C main. Same set, top 4. Moving to the B main, it's Dustin Hall in the Slick Sim Sports 331 and Brent Rowells driving for Vanderpool Racing to the outside of row 1.
Row number 2 will be Dusty Ladner in car number 46 and Justin Robinson to his outside in the 47.
Richard Murtaugh Jr., the Rocket Racing Setups 33, and Gregory Rory out of the Carolinas working the outside of row number 3.
Row number 4 is going to be Brandon Marlowe and Steven Wilson. They will make up row 4.
Row number 5 is Austin Hunter and Cody Rentzloff.
And on the back row, Bryce Bailey, the New York driver, with Brooks Trammell out of Carolina to his outside. 12 drivers, and again, in this one, 16 as we're going to roll back through the grid. You've got now your transfer cars. There they are, 4 more as you see them on your screen, Jerry.
Tim Christensen, Eddie Farnes, Gage Martinez, and Jordan Casey all out of the D to the C, and we will see if they can go to the B.
So we talk about Gage Martinez. He just passed 10 in the C main. 10 in this one's going to be a heartbreaker because you're going to be 1 spot short of a transfer. You're going to need at least 11 if you're starting from 15th on back as the field is rolling off the grid here in the C main. This one will be 12 laps. Top 4 go to the back of the B. The B main is going to be 14 laps. The top 4 moving on to the back of the A. And we'll get ready for the Wonky Day Clothing Company prelim number 1 tonight. Top 12 move off to the Bar Night's 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling finale. $5,000 on the line. Over $16,000 in total prizes up for grabs over this 2-day affair.
That is big purse money for a sim sport race. $5,000, like you said, going to the winner. Now, I'm wondering how many cars Gage Martinez will pass.
Well, he showed he can get it done, and he's got 2 more laps in this one to pick up 1 more spot. So can he make it work? And looks like Dustin Hall might not have made the call on this one. Scheduled to start on the pole as we are green and we are underway in this one.
So technically he's already passed 1 car.
He's got 1 out of the way. Yes, sir.
Down the back straightaway, Dusty Landers working Richard Murtaugh. Now look at this deeper in the field. Gregory Rory back there in the 16. Oh boy, she's going to get right and tight and ready to excite off of turn number 4. 3 and 4 wide down the front straightaway, Ben.
What a battle back there with Rolls, Marlowe, and Robinson as they go after that 4th and final transfer spot. Ladner leads the way over Murtaugh Jr., but from 3rd on back, it's a hornet's nest.
Holy cow, Gage Martinez snuck it in there, made 4 wide, got the daily double in the 69 machine as he is now up to 8th as they thunder down the front straightaway. Martinez trying to storm the castle, but further up it is Bryce Bailey, 1 out of a transfer in the deuce looking in. You know he wants to get on the pony and ride.
Justin Robinson, a comfortable advantage for 4th. He's not done there, though. He's going to go after Rolls as they battle for 3rd, and this might be exactly what Bryce Bailey and Steven Wilson need to get into the fold, and indeed, the battle heats up for the 4th and final transfer. Hang on!
Oh, look at this. Holy cow, Gage Martinez. This guy, he is lucky. He got himself through that as they got to beating and banging. He's up to 3rd. Holy cow. There's some highway robbery happened there, and Gage Martinez was the patrol that drove right through.
Meanwhile, off into 1 and 2, Murtaugh Jr., a big slider on Ladner, and he goes to the lead. Murtaugh to the lead. Ladner back in the 2nd spot. Martinez in 3rd. He's only passed 12 cars in the first 4 laps. Is that good?
Nah, I don't know if it's good or lucky or just everybody let him get out of the way. I have no idea. But he's going to get in there with the battle with Steven Wilson. Wilson down to the bottom side. They'll hustle off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway past the Sprint Car Hall of Fame as it will be Wilson back to the number 3 spot. Gage Martinez back into 4th. 4th is still good right now. 5th, well, he'll be sitting at home watching tomorrow.
And right now, that is Jordan Casey on the move. He came out of the D main. Another driver that's passed a lot. He started 16th. He is up to 5th. He's passed 11. Martinez is past 5. Good battle right now for the final transfer spots.
We'll watch him through. Stephen Wilson, the Iowa City, Iowa racer, working that two. There with 5 to go, working the 3 spot. Martinez back there in 4th. Murtaugh and Lander, your top 2 as they race down the back straightaway. Everybody's starting to find that zone of comfort as they just hang on and know that they've got a handful of laps, 3 to go this time to finish this one on up.
Well, right now, Murtaugh's got half a second over Ladner. Ladner's got a second and a half over Stephen Wilson, and Wilson's got about 0.3 of a second over Gage Martinez as your top 4 get stretched out. Jordan Casey, Bryce Bailey, they're running out of time.
They got 3 to go this time. The Rocket, the Fulton, New York racer, Richard Murtaugh, your race leader, got her wicked up tonight here at Knoxville. Down the back straightaway, Dusty Landers working the number 2 spot, trying to make something happen. And can he do it? Just a couple of laps to go this time down the front straightaway. The Lakeshore, Mississippi racer working the number 2 spot.
He's trying everything he can to get back to the lead. Murtaugh goes to the bottom, and that opens the top just a little bit. Now, just like that, you've got a battle for the lead down the back straightaway.
Here we go, wheel-to-wheel action down into turn number 3. Murtaugh going to slide it on up across the snoot. Here comes Dusty Landers back around the outside, drives it, uses gravity and momentum to work himself to the race lead as Landers back downstairs to the outside is Richard Murtaugh. This one is going to be a shootout to the end, Ben.
Fantastic battle for the lead. Murtaugh throws the block. He'll slide up the racetrack. Ladner now back there in position number 2. Drag race back to the line. And at that time at the line, it's Murtaugh over Ladner. Wilson and Martinez, your top 4. As the checkered flag has dropped on this one. And you thought Ladner might have something for Murtaugh, but Murtaugh got a big run through 3 and 4. He picks up the win here in the C main.
Yes, he did. And what a C main it was. They get to go to the B. Your top 4. We'll take a look, make sure everybody signed on through. Richard Murtaugh, Dusty Landers, Steve Wilson, and Gage Martinez is still, well, he's at the buffet going for another bowl of soup.
Yeah, he's made it from the D to the C. We got the alphabet run. Everybody talks about the alphabet run at the Chili Bowl, and tonight Martinez trying to make the run. He got as high as 3rd in that one, comes home in 4th. All that does is get him into the back of the B main, and now we get set to determine who the final 4 starters are going to be here tonight, Jerry.
Here we go. It is Brent Evans up on the pole and James Grace to the outside.
Starting inside of row 2, Michigan's Brendan Cascadin, and to his outside, the Texan Caden Honeycutt.
Then we go to row number 3 where it's Dylan Thomas and Randall Carter.
Row number 4 will be Derek Keltner, the Drew Hopkins Racing entry, and Greg Perkins in cart number 4.
Going to the next row, that'll see Jason Salter in the Rocket Esports machine and the Slam Sim Sports Ashton Briggs right to the outside.
Starting in the 11th position, Hagen Sorensen in car 45, and to his outside, Felix Roy, the Canadian driver in car 91.
Well, there we go. Our cars out of the B. Richard Murtaugh Jr. in the 33 and Dusty Landers in the 5.
And moving to the back row, it'll be Stephen Wilson in the 50 and Gage Martinez. Can he complete the alphabet run and get into the A main tonight? He's got even more laps, 14 laps for the top 4 to move on.
Here we go. BJ Duvall's here? No way. BJ, what are you doing?
Oh, we're just, having fun, getting a learning experience.
Learning? What did you learn tonight?
I learned a lot. I learned that my old sets don't quite work on the new tires anymore.
Well, that'll happen. Well, we're learning. We're going back to the green, and Ben has learned that you are the master of a Ouija board, and he's going to talk to you off mic about it later tonight.
You can never have enough Ouija board knowledge. I'll say it. Nobody else will. No, I'll say it.
You can't. I mean, you got to know how it works.
Must respect the Ouija board. Main action is underway.
Speaking of that, look at this. It is going to be Brent Evans working at the top spot. Holy cow, look at the big run on the bottom side by Dylan Thomas in the 0-3. This is where it's going to be win it or wear it, checkers or wreckers, the whole race, Ben. This is your last chance to dance.
Well, you can tell this racetrack's going to come in really good for this feature because right now it is slicking up top to bottom, and they are 3 and 4 wide all over it back in the pack with Brent Evans leading the way in the 101.
The cream will rise to the top in this one, and we'll see what happens as Evans, Grace, Thomas, and Perkins, your top 4. Now you see it, Perkins and Salter. They teeter-totter back and forth to 3rd and 4th. Martinez, we'll see if he can roll through the field, but he's got big company here. He's got some heavy competition, and this one is he only sits back in 12th, but there's great racing happening up there in the top 4.
Right now, Caden Honeycutt with a slider on James Grace as they battle for that 2nd spot, and it's a hornet's nest behind him, 4 wide off turn number 4 at the line. Honeycutt to 2nd, Grace back to 3rd, and Grace is going to get a tail whip and into the turn 1 wall as he's going to fall out of a transfer spot.
I tell you, from 3rd on back, it's like the Journey Classic. Levin touching, squeezing. Oh, boy, look how big wreck down in turn number 3 and 4. Oh, you knew this one was coming. The way these guys have been racing each other, you knew there was going to be a ton of romance with the right side, and somebody humped the bump on the bottom, and away they come. We'll watch on the replay here. Randall Carter was trying to get a run to the inside of Grace and did not see the car to the inside, and then this becomes a catastrophe.
Well, Jerry, it may have started as a Journey song, but it ended as a 5-finger death punch song in the wall up in turns 3 and 4. There were elbows and fists, and there was a few people maybe knocked unconscious. They're heading to that Knoxville Health Clinic. We'll have to get that graphic back up. But, man, James Grace, the difference that 3/4 of a lap can make, he was 3rd, and then 3/4 of a lap later, he is planted in the turn 3 wall, and it looks like his night's going to be over.
Yes, it was not what you wanted to see. Yep. Yeah, you might have to go get a nightcap at the Dingus after that one. I mean, we'll see how everything works. There's still 10 laps to go, though. Anything can happen. We've seen it already in the first 4 laps of this one. Anything can happen in this one, so we'll see what transpires as we get ready to go back to the green flag here momentarily as they get them reset, re-racked, and restacked to go up. Now looks like 5 in the books here.
Well, the director's cuts have been brilliant. We got the Knoxville Health Clinic, we got the Dingus. They're brewing up over at the Rib Shack. Match right there on cue, man. You asked for it, Brett gives it to you. He gives the people what they want.
So we spent some time this winter, and we didn't realize this race was going to be at Knoxville. But I said, guys, anytime we go to Knoxville, we always go to the Dingus. Wheeler works it on in. And they go, oh, I'm hungry. Because actually, the gal that owns a Rib Shack, we're very great, close personal friends. So I said, hey, I'm going to give you a shout out on iRacing. She says, oh, the computer stuff, I'm going to watch this stuff. And she turned it on just as we went to the Rib Shack. And she was like, oh, my goodness, how did I get on the computer? And I said, well, just like these guys did. You turned it on and you went racing. And holy cow, speaking of racing, look at this. Randall Carter in the 37 band coming to the inside. This one is, like I said, win it or wear it time.
Good stuff right now, beating and banging. How about Greg Perkins, 8th up into the 2nd spot, Salter in 3rd, Felix Roy in 4th, Carter in 5th. It is anybody's game as we work at the early stages of B-Main action with the top 4 moving on. Everybody else done for the weekend.
We talked about Martinez coming through the field. Look at this. Here comes the rocket. Richard Murtaugh, 1 out of a transfer. He came out of the C-Main. We'll watch that 31 car because right ahead of him sits Felix Roy, the Canadian, Jason Salter. Then it is Perkins and Evans, your top 4. Can you have Richard Murtaugh out of the C, get into the A? We'll find out. Will Martinez come? Look out, they're crashing deeper in the field.
Salter and Perkins were side by side that time at the line. So far, we're staying green, and that battle for 2nd is a barn burner. Perkins, Salter, and Roy, and they got to be careful because Carter and Murtaugh could capitalize if those guys get together. Right now, Perkins holding serve for the 2nd spot behind Brent Evans, but to his inside, great run from Jason Salter.
Salter downstairs to the outside is Perkins. Right behind him sits Felix Roy, and you know he's hungry. Richard Murtaugh along with Randall Carter, those 2 drivers back there, 5 and 6, just waiting to see what will happen and what will transpire in front of them. This time they come down, there'll be 4 laps to go. Martinez now, look at this. Here comes the 69 with 4 to go. Martinez, here's 2 guys out of the C working 5 and 6.
Great battle right now. Meanwhile, it's going to be Salter to the inside of Perkins. Brent Evans is loving what he's seeing because he has been unchallenged in this one. But you got a new second-place runner as Salter goes to second. Perkins going to fall back to fourth as Roy up into third. And just like that, Greg Perkins is on the hot seat, and a couple of guys out of the C-Main are trying to get to him, and Murtaugh and Martinez.
Murtaugh, Martinez, and Carter. Gage Martinez, he is in to win it or wear it. Watch him down there in the 69 working on Murtaugh. You know it, you see it, the 4 machine up around the outside. Perkins is in the clutches of this battle here. Here comes Murtaugh. Murtaugh will bang the cush, work it off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. 3 to go in this one. Now 2.5 remaining. Look at this, Martinez. Oh boy, here comes right side romance from Murtaugh. Murtaugh's going to get aggressive off of turn number 4.
He's going to get aggressive, and he's also going to get the 4th and final transfer. What will Perkins do? What will Martinez do? Laps ticking away in this one.
We are down to the last lap and a half. This is your last chance to dance. Martinez into the 5 spot. Carter goes 6. Murtaugh working the bottom of the racetrack. They come on down the front straightaway this time. The white flag is out. There is 1 lap to go.
Out front, it's all Evans. Salter in second. Back in the 3rd spot, Roy. Murtaugh in 4th after starting 13th. Now is go time if you're Martinez and the rest of them if you're going to get into the big show.
We'll find out what happens. It's Brent Evans to the race win. Felix Roy going to go second. No, Salter's going to get him at the line. Roy and Richard Murtaugh, your top 4, and the rest are DUN done.
How about that? Wow, what a run from Murtaugh as he goes 13th to 4th. Martinez slips to 6th late in the going after starting 16th. But Brent Evans moves off to the big show here tonight. Jason Salter in 2nd, Felix Roy in 3rd, Murtaugh in 4th, and as we talked about, Carter, Martinez, Wilson, Honeycutt, Thomas, Grayson Sorensen, Perkins, everybody else. They're going to be spectators with you and I as we get set now for the first prelim, the 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling. 30 laps, top 12 lock into the big 100-lap finale tomorrow night.
Yes, they are. I think we got a 5-minute warm-up session here, and I believe we'll kick out for just a moment. Pay some bills as you are watching the Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling, 14th running of the event here on UltimateDirtTV, Team VLR, wherever you're watching. And it's great to have you. So we'll be back here just momentarily with feature number 1.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you. There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
Welcome back to Knoxville Raceway, the opening night of the 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling with Team VLR from Knoxville Raceway in Iowa as we get set for the first prelim of the weekend. 30 laps, the top 12 in this one, lock into tomorrow night's big $5,000 to win, 100-lap finale, as somebody's going to make history tomorrow night and a purse over $16,000 as the field is starting to make its way to the grid. As we said, 24 cars, top 12 will lock into the feature, 13th through 24th. Well, guess what? They're going to be in the non-qualifiers race tomorrow night, where the winner's going to have the chance to take $200, or they're going to forfeit that and go after glory and start 25th on the grid for the 100-lap finale. Again, with $5,000 up for grabs, $100 to take the green flag tomorrow night. Racetrack looking really good as it is slicked up top to bottom here at the Marion County Fairgrounds. And again, 30 laps. Jerry, a lot is going to change throughout this feature as the field star-studded from front to back.
Yes, it is. And speaking from front to back, we'll go back to front here for your starting lineup. What a run he had in the B main to make his way in by the skin of his teeth. Richard Murtaugh Jr. starting in 24th. 23rd will be the Canadian Felix Roy on the inside.
Starting outside of row number 11 in the Rocket Esports number 10, it's Jason Salter. Into his inside, it's Brent Evans out of Carolina in the 101.
Going to the 10th row to the right-hand side, it's Daniel Powell from the Mid-South region. Into his inside, starting 19th, it's Austin Matthews for driving in the 87 car.
Starting outside of row number 9 from the Atlantic region, it's Tyler Reed in the car 58. Into his inside in car 72, it's Mike Augustine starting 17th on the grid.
Going to row number 8 to the outside from California, it is Jerry Flippo. And to the inside, it's Jesse Innerking from Florida.
Moving up to row number 7, it'll be John Ruggiero Jr. in car 19. And to his inside, starting 13th, Mason Lobb.
Going to the next row, that will be Austin Carr rolling off in 12th. And Blake Majulis, the Team D1RT hot stud, in the 11th spot.
Row number 10 on the, row number 5 in the 10th starting spot. It'll be the dirt racing entry of Clay Debin in car 84 and Kendall Tucker, the North Carolina shoe in the Swindell Speed Lab entry starting inside of row number 5.
Going to the 8th starting spot, it's Adam Hummerding. And to the inside of row number 4, it is Cole Cabret in the D1RT hot rod.
Starting outside of row number 3, Tennessee racer Howard Weaver in the 07. Into his inside, it's Alex Bergeron, the Canadian, in car number 12.
It will be Damian Kiefer inside or outside of row number 2 to the inside. Ryan Underwood for Team VLR.
And your front row starting second on the grid, Dylan Yeager in car 48, the Rocket Racing setup entry, and Blake Cannon out of Georgia in car 44. That's your pole sitter as we get set to go 30 laps, top 12 to the big show tomorrow night. Who's it going to be? Green flags up, and we're underway.
30 laps the distance, 15 miles here at Knoxville. They'll race down into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be Blake Cannon around the hub, down on the bottom side to the number 1 spot. Ryan Underwood coming there. Dylan Yeager, Alex Bergeron. Look at this. They're going to stack them up 3 deep and sell them cheap to lap number 1.
Racetrack fantastic early in this one. 2 and 3 wide with Blake Cannon leading the way, the Georgia driver in car 44. Now Bergeron, the Canadian racer, trying to take second away from Underwood. That's the battle out of 2 down the back straightaway. Behind them, it's Yeager and Kiefer rounding out your top 5.
They'll hustle them on through as they race off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. They've got them stacked up rows 2 by 2. To the inside is Alex Bergeron. To the outside is Ryan Underwood. Here comes Dylan Yeager. Damian Kiefer back there along with the 71 of Cole Cabret. Down there, you also see the 00 Kendall Tucker. Ben, you've got the cream, and it's starting to rise to the top here early in this one as we are 4 laps in.
We are 4 laps in, and we are new leader in. Alex Bergeron leads that lap as he works out of 2 down the back straightaway. Now Cannon back in the 2nd spot. Can he get back to the top spot? Underwood in 3rd. He'll go to work on Blake Cannon off into turns 3 and 4.
They'll hustle off of 4 and down the front straightaway. Alex Bergeron, your race leader. Blake Cannon, Ryan Underwood, Cole Cabret, your top 4. Out front is Bergeron. Everybody going to go ahead and stair step on in behind him. You see Kendall Tucker working Cole Cabret, the 71, and here comes the 127 of Blake Majulis on the throttle.
Good battles right now, back through the pack. Low Groove has come in on this racetrack right now, and that's where your top 5 drivers all run as we complete lap number 5.
Adam Hummerdinck coming to the 42 to the outside. John Ruggerio's there. Mason Lobb and Jerry Flippo. Look out, we got troubles.
Cannon.
Big trouble in turn 2.
Cannon goes around all by his lonesome, and he collects other drivers from second to the back of the pack, and wow, how things can change as we go to the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. And Cannon down the front straightaway, and he heads off into the corner. Actually, down the back straightaway, excuse me. Oh, he had a little bit of a love tap take. I thought he got sideways on his own. Looks like Ryan Underwood up close and personal with Blake Cannon. Wow, what a bad break for the Georgia driver.
Yes, so we'll see how this one plays on out as admins will take a look at it. You see it, Underwood just gets down there, kind of humps the hump there, gets him in with a little bump to the rump, and then boom, John Ruggerio says, how you doing? So we'll see how things
Wow.
lay out. Not what you want to see. We'll take a look here. Like I said, the inside berm here at Knoxville can either hurt or hamper what happens there. And you see just a little bit of wheel hop as around goes the 44 of Blake Cannon across the snoot of 48 machine. See
Wow, man.
Getting it locked down back there deeper in the field.
Well, that gives us a second to catch our breath right now. Bergeron to the lead on lap number 4. He leads the way right now, the Canadian driver. Ryan Underwood back in the second spot. Damian Kiefer in third. Back in the 4th position, Cabret. And then it'll be Dylan Yeager riding behind them. Again, 12 drivers move on out of this one, and we are very early in this one.
And taking a look here, I'm going to go looking at timing and scoring and my best educated guess, which I'm not the smartest guy, Ben, but I do know a thing or two that if you were running second and now you're running 20 seconds, you got an ELO.
Wow.
I said ELO. I did not mean Electric Lights Orchestra. I meant end of line. I got it. Yeah. We're going to karaoke some ELO at the Dingus after this one, but not right now. It's Alex Bergeron. He is singing that tune as it's wound up and whistling Dixie down the back straightaway.
He's got the lead. How about Kiefer going to work right now in that 0 car? One of the few drivers that's trying the outside. A lot of guys down on the low side, but that's going to open the door as he's going to fall back possibly to 4th or further. Cabret holds on to the 2nd spot in car number 71. Meanwhile, it's going to be Yeager up to 3rd.
Down the back straightaway, Yeager coming into the number 3 spot. 4th is Kiefer. There's going to be 3rd is Kiefer, but see now Blake Majulis working down around the bottom. Majulis will hump the hub on the bottom side. He'll work things down into turn number 1 and 2. It still is Alex Bergeron, Cole Cabret, Damian Kiefer. Now Blake Majulis, and watch this, Dylan Yeager. He gets a big run to the outside of Kendall Tucker.
You keep saying bump the rump, and I'm thinking now Humpty Dance by Digital Underground from back in the early 90s. You got that stuck in my head. Is right now, these drivers, most of them working the low side of a speedway. Majulis, though, trying to roll the middle.
That was a good song, by the way.
That lead singer died last week, by the way. That's Bring the Party Down. He passed away last week. Worthless knowledge that you can only get here tonight on the 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling.
Yes, everything we say tonight is probably worthless. But anyway, what's not worthless is the racing. This thing has been amazing. I mean, for some reason, I don't know if you know this or not, but I am hungry for some ice cream. And so is the driver on the outside of Majulis. That's Damian Kiefer. Kiefer wants to make it in as he hustles around off of turn number 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. Great battle for 3rd.
Kendall Tucker up to 5th. Dylan Yeager in 6th. Weaver 7th. Hommerding in 8th. Flippo, Lobb, Ruggiero, and Underwood. That's your 12 transfer cars as they run right now.
Back in the field, everybody racing for position. But we'll see what happens as they hurry, as it's Bergeron running and hiding on this one. Here comes Kendall Tucker, the old Swindell Speed Labs 00 machine, working the 127 of Blake Majulis into the outside is Damian Kiefer. Kiefer going to hold him at bay. You see him racetrack getting a little choppy down the back straightaway, get a little hump down there as you get past the midsection of the backstretch grandstands. Off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Still a great battle for third.
Well, I tell you who's having no issues anywhere he puts that race car on the track, and that's the number 12 of Alex Bergeron. 1.3 second advantage for Bergeron over Cabré, who sits back in second. Cabré's got about 0.3 of a second on Majulis, and Kiefer is giving that top side hell for all it's worth, but now Kendall Tucker going to peek to the inside. Tucker may have 4th at the line, and yes, sir, he will.
Down the front straightaway, now down the back straightaway. Tucker getting on in there, tucks in behind Majulis, but man, to the outside, Damian Kiefer not giving up, has stayed true to the top of the racetrack. They hurry off at turn number 4 and down the front straightaway, still Bergeron as we are now at the halfway point of this one. Tucker and Majulis sitting in behind Cole Cabré. Cabré still up there as we hustle off of 2 down the back straightaway. Adam Hummerding's on the move.
One thing you notice right now is it seems like Majulis can put that 127 wherever he wants, and he's gone to work in the middle of the racetrack, and he's going to try to reel in Tucker right now in that battle for position at number 4. As Cabré sits in second, Bergeron checked out in this one as we work into the second half of this prelim. Top 12 lock into the 100-lap 5,000 win finale tomorrow night. Coming up after this one, we'll talk to your top 3, and then we'll get ready for the second server where another 60 drivers are going to begin their pursuit of glory in the 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling.
You talk about 12th. Look at who is 12th right now. Richard Murtaugh Jr. coming from the C to the B to the A. He is in that 12th and final transfer spot as Mason Lobnow, he moves into the 12th spot as Murtaugh gets around him. Everybody finding their own rhythm. They are going to be into this 2/3 point of this race here in just a lap from now is Jerry Flippo coming to the inside, the 13 car to the inside of Adam Hummerding. Hummerding goes to the outside, Flippo on the bottom. Everybody hanging tight down the front straightaway.
Right now, Cabré's coming under heavy fires. Majulis is right there. Tucker's right there. That's your battle for second. You see it on your screen as they work through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. And now Damian Kiefer going to join the battle as well. Cabré has maintained his serve right there on the low side, but they're 3 wide behind him in the battle for the second spot.
That's second, third position, and 4th has been up for grabs from the drop of the green bend. It is Cabré, Majulis, the 00 Tucker. Now look at this. Dylan Yeager, the 0 machine of Kiefer, Yeager, and Flippo they're all within striking distance. Anything can happen here as we've got 8 to go.
Just 8 laps remain. Bergeron's extended his advantage to 1.4 seconds as Cabré's going to get a chance to breathe a little bit, about 2 car lengths. That's the most he's had in a while. And Kendall Tucker and Majulis continue to battle for position number 3. Good, hard, clean racing here tonight at Knoxville.
That's what you love to see when you come to these big money shows. It's usually the best of the best, and they know that they know you got to be there at the end, and not being there means you take somebody out. And we haven't seen that here in the A main tonight as they've been working feverishly to and fro, high and low down there in turn number 3 and 4. Majulis, the 127 down around the bottom, the 00 of Kendall Tucker around the outside. This has been a great battle the entire event.
And how about that? Caution is out on the speedway. Yellow flag waves, and that is going to group the field with roughly 6-7 laps to go in this one, with Alex Bergeron's going to see his 1.5 second advantage erased.
We'll see what happened here deep in the field. And full send off the berm by Jason Salter, and then car comes up and around, and then he's nothing but pinball. Not the wizard, just the pinball.
Never seen anything like it. Well, Bergeron, your leader. Cabré in second. And I tell you what, at times I felt like Cabré might be holding the guys behind him up, but he started to pull away from him there toward the end of that run as maybe he was starting to find his marks. The car was coming in. Tucker in third, Majulis in fourth, Yeager in fifth, Kiefer back in sixth, and it's Flippo, Hummerding, Underwood, Howard Weaver, Murtaugh from 24th to 11th. I think that guy's passed 800 race cars tonight. And Felix Roy on the hot seat in the 12th and final transfer, and he came from 23rd. So your 24th and 23rd starters riding right now in 11th and 12th, respectively.
Yeah, right now the Chicken Bone Alley Podcast Hard Charger Award could be going to that car right there, the 33 machine of Richard Murtaugh. We'll watch and see how this thing plays out. Like I said, that guy's passed more cars than, well, he's passed more cars than Gage Martinez because Martinez didn't make the A. So,
well, you got to swing at a guy that's not in the A main. Why's it got to go there, Jerry?
Well, it is Gage Martinez.
He's gonna cut you. You're gonna get cut. All right. Well, that's fine.
I know. As long as he doesn't get that coolant tester out behind the Salina 50 or Salina 52 truck stop parking lot, I think we're okay.
All right. I don't like your odds, but that's fine. All right. Getting set to get this one back underway. Looks like maybe about 7 laps remaining in this one. Oh, again, the caution laps not counting. Bergeron, your leader. Cabrera in second, Tucker, Majulis, and Yeager as we come back to the green flag. Delaware double file restart, green flags out. We're back underway in prelim number 1 here tonight at Knoxville.
With a caution coming back out immediately.
Oh, the double caution.
Yes. So what you're telling me is I should probably sleep with one eye open tonight?
Oh, no, I would close them. I don't 1, 2 eyes. It's not going to help your case, I don't think so.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
First time of doing a Schaeffer's Oil spring fling, and I'm in trouble.
You know what? If you're going to do something, be prolific, and that's what you're doing, sir. All right, they're going to get them sorted out as, again, Bergeron leading the way. And, you got to think, yeah, you want to win and get bragging rights, but if I'm these guys, of course, I wouldn't be contending for the top 12, Jerry, but you just want to get into tomorrow night's 100-lapper. We've seen it a million times at Knoxville. You just got to be in the show to have a chance at it in 100 laps.
Oh, you have to. I mean, getting in the show, because now you've spent some time, and a lot of times, and you know it from Ben, from being around, late model racing outdoors in the big 50 and 100 lappers, just getting there in these qualifying events, running that 9th and 10th or 8th or wherever, you're watching the racetrack, you're taking notes, you're learning. You're back there actually using it like a big hot lap session, because I'm comfortable, I'm in the show, don't get in trouble, but figure out what's going to happen in 100 laps from now tomorrow.
But conversely, if you're Austin Matthews, Brent Evans, it's go time right now as we come back to the green flag. Pace truck's going to pull to the infield, and it is up to Bergeron to mash the loud pedal. And 6 laps officially remain in this one. 6 to go. Top 12 to the big show. Everybody else will be in a last chance qualifier tomorrow night.
I saw some action happening deep in the field. We'll see if this one stays in the green. No, it doesn't. As things, I think there were some working brakes through the middle of the field, and somebody's did not work deeper in the field of some chain reaction incidents.
I'm sure it was pure coincidental, but yeah, cautions breed cautions, and such we see here at Knoxville as we go to the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay, and survey says, whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, we had a little time warping happening. We had some guys getting some love taps, and we got another caution. That's the one thing that is undeniable.
I will say, when you did the whoop whoop, it made me think of tag team back again. That's my favorite commercial on TV right now, is the tag team Geico or Geico commercial. That's my most favorite.
Your most favorite. Not just favorite, and not just the one you like the most favoritist.
Exactly. It's a combination of both words of stupidity put together.
Well, with 6 laps to go in this one, a lot of beating and banging back in the pack here in Wonky Day Clothing Company, A-Main number 1. And we'll see who becomes the first Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series prelim winner of the night in another 6 laps. Again, we'll talk to them very fast. And then we will get ready for the second server, because there's another 60 drivers chomping at the bit to tackle this half-mile oval and to try to chase a $5,000 payout. Just crazy, again, when you think about it. $5,000 to the winner tomorrow night. Whoever can top this 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling. And major shout out to Schaeffer's Oil for everything they do to sponsor virtual racing as well as the real world racing. That company really goes out of their way, and we do appreciate their support of this event.
Yes, they do. Happen to know a handful of their vendors here in the Midwest, and some of them are even racers. I mean, if you've ever heard of a guy named Elijah Zievenbergen, kind of does pretty good in IMCA stock car, is a distributor for Schaeffer's Oil. So is very, very well-known oil company throughout the country. And speaking of known out of the country is Blake Majulis. Yeah, if you know anything about sim sport racing, you know that 127. And look at that. You know he's great on restarts, and he is now to the deuce.
He moves up to second, Tucker to third. Cabrera did not get a good restart, but now he's got his feet back under him as they come back to the line, and we've got just 4 laps remaining in this one. Out front, it is Bergeron, Majulis, Tucker, Cabrera, Yeager, and Kiefer. That's your top 5.
Down the back, straight away to turn number 3 and 4, Bergeron, Majulis, Tucker, Cabrera, Dylan Yeager. Now Kiefer and Yeager battle to and fro back there deeper in the field as they hustle on back. Ryan Underwood, Adam Humberding, Jerry Filippo, Richard Murtaugh, Blake Cannon. Look at this, Blake Cannon. Blake Cannon was wrecked out of this one in lap number 1. He is now in a transfer spot. Your pole sitter in the 44 as we go yellow.
Yellow comes out with a handful of laps remaining. So, yeah, Cannon's in a transfer spot. And if I'm not wrong, unless I'm wrong, and I could be, Ryan Underwood got the end-of-line penalty in the wreck that sent Cannon to the back. So he has rallied to 7th, as those drivers have done a phenomenal job. As we go to the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay to see what brought out that caution. And a felony down in turns 1 and 2 as Brent Evans gets roughed up. Sometimes you say no harm, no foul. There was lots of harm and lots of foul in that one. And tough break for Evans.
And you see it actually starts there coming off of turn 4 as the 10 car was already looking up under the skirt. And then it was just right side romance and boom.
Usually you have to pay double for that kind of action, but there.
Yeah, usually that's an after midnight show.
Or if you're Pacific, you're 3 hours ahead of everybody else. It could be 9 p.m. Well, that was Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay, and bad break there as Brent Evans getting roughed up. So, yeah, with unofficially, let's say 3 laps to go, Alex Bergeron, your leader, Majulis in 2nd, Kendall Tucker 3rd, Cabrera in 4th, Yeager in 5th, Damian Kiefer in 6th. Then it's going to be Underwood, Hommerding, Flippo, Murtaugh. He's come from the C to the B to the A. He's in 10th. Blake Cannon, he got the boot early in this one, had to go to the back of the pack after getting turned around. He sits back there in position 11, and Austin Matthews in 12th. He started 19th. So it will be green-white checkered.
GWC finish coming at us.
In theory, it will be green-white checkered.
Yes, in theory.
What could go wrong?
Well, if we'll let we'll let these guys show us what can go wrong, and hopefully it's nothing. So we will see it, because like I said, we talked about it. If you're in the top 12, you're locked in. Be patient, be cautious. If you're 13th on back, oh yeah, it's time to throw the gloves off and go hockey fight.
If you're 12th, be afraid, as we're back underway. And it's Bergeron, your leader, Majulis in 2nd, Tucker in 3rd. Now Cabrera's going to come after Tucker down the back straightaway. Yeager and Underwood right there behind him. Underwood from the back of the pack into the top 5.
Underwood along with that 44 machine coming through the field of Blake Cannon. Cannon gets hustled back into the number 12 spot. But look at this. Here comes Underwood down on the bottom, bringing Yeager to the outside. Cabrera's there. Here is Tucker. Tucker, this is a great battle for the number 3 spot. The white's been waving. The checkered is coming. He will come down to the checkered flag. Put it P1. Alex Bergeron with the race win.
Majulis comes home in 2nd, Cabrera in 3rd. Then it'll be Kendall Tucker, Ryan Underwood, Dylan Yeager, Jerry Filippo, Damian Kiefer, Felix Roy, Adam Hummerding. Blake Cannon makes it into the show, as does the human car passer, Richard Murtaugh Jr. from the C to the B to the final transfer tomorrow night's main event. Howard Weaver is going to miss it by 1 spot, along with Austin Matthews, Tyler Reed, Jason Salter, Mike Augustine, Austin Carr, Jesse Enterkin, Mason Lobb, Clay Debin, Daniel Powell, Brent Evans, and John Ruggiero Jr.
There is your 24-car field. Finished the way they did, and what a great 30-lap main event. We're going to wait for our top 3 to make their way down into victory lane. While I do that, we'll step away, pay a bill real quick, and be back with your podium finishers here on your Schaeffer's Oil 14th Annual Spring Fling, presented by Team DLR, here from the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
What a first server event it was. We've locked in our top 12. We've got our top 3 podium finishers down in victory lane. Running third, Cole Cabre. Cole, it's got to feel good to lock yourself in for $5,000.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good feeling, when you have as good as race cars D1RT gave me to come out here and do what I just did. It really shows, and just happy to just make it, but to run top 3 is just a whole nother blessing.
We watched you there for the longest time, run second there behind Bergeron, and that last caution kind of threw you off a little bit. It looked like as they were able to get up around you.
Yeah, starting on the top was hard. You just had to kind of hope the inside lane stacked up there, and luckily that last restart, Kendall messed up and hit the berm, and I was able to drive around him on the top coming to the line. But yeah, it was just kind of bottom feeding that whole racetrack right there, and baby foot, and like asphalt racing.
Yeah, just had to eggshell that thing. So you're in the show. You got a lot of people helped you out. Who do you want to thank for your podium finish tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Duct Tape Racing, Majulis for all the help, D1RT, Wilson, Matthew Logan, everyone that really supports us. Dylan Wilson, I don't know if I said that, and VLR for putting this on, and we'll see you guys Thursday.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow night. Cole, our production truck asking if you forgot anybody in your sponsorship.
I hope not.
Oh. All right, so we'll work our way in. Cole Cabre's locked himself in. Ben has found runner-up.
That's right. Blake Majulis. Blake 11th to 2nd. What was the key to your run through the field tonight?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was missing a little on setup. Obviously choked big time in qualifying. Set me back, for the night. You never want to do that, especially in these qualifyings, everything. So, fortunate to get to second there. I just, a lot of people were getting tight on that berm, and I was just trying to roll about a couple inches off it just so I wouldn't get that push. And every time someone would push up, I'd try and squeeze that hole. And, that's where most of the passes were made tonight. And, a lot of guys would try and put you down on the berm, so you jump it and they'd get ahead. But it was interesting for sure. The lines changed, quite differ from the heat races to the feature. So I was kind of surprised by the track tonight.
100 laps tomorrow. What is it going to take the 127 to victory lane?
We've been trying for a couple years now. Been pretty close. Hopefully we can just stay in the pocket for 100 laps and keep the car straight and clean. And like everyone says, you got to be there at the end. So hopefully we can manage your car good enough and be there with the last 10 laps.
Who would you like to thank, Blake?
Of course, just everyone at D1RT Racing, Represent Limited, ML Performance, Reliable Energy Solutions, Jeff Swilly, Chris Ferguson Motorsports, CD Cinematography, BK Designs, Design 75 for the sweet looking wrap, and everybody that watched. I appreciate it.
Congrats, Blake. Great job. And from Blake Majulis, who finishes second, to our brethren north of the border, no big surprise, the winner in the prelim, going to toss it back over to Jerry.
Alex Bergeron, probably one of the perennial favorites coming into the Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling here on VLR. And Blake, taking a look here, you held off Blake as he was charging there to the end. But Alex, the 12 was on top again.
Yeah, we definitely did good. Very proud of this team. We definitely ran a great race. Started in 5th and made our way to the lead there, and car was on the rails. We just wanted to make it in the feature tomorrow and have a great run. So I can't thank everyone that supports us enough for all of this. This is, I think it's going to be our second time start on the front row, if that's how it works for this year as well. So. It's going to be hopefully a great race tomorrow, and I feel like we have the pace. We just have to keep working hard and have a long night again to make sure everything is right and ready to go.
We talk about it, league racing or weekly shows, as we refer to them, if we were outside, 25, 30 lap features, 40 lap features. What mindset do you have in 100 laps here at Knoxville for tomorrow?
Just to be patient, we make sure we have no damage on the car. That's the most important thing. And then after that, just to keep the car straight and make no mistakes and try to have no yellows. So, hopefully we have a great race tomorrow, like I said. And, like I said, I feel like we have the pace to be up front. Just have to keep working hard and, maybe try to find something better, which we will. So hopefully we'll be good enough to be up front. All
right. Got a lot of people to help you do this week in and week out. Who do you want to thank for the trip to victory lane tonight?
As always, Jerry, everyone at Team ABR Esports, Rebecca and Jason. Thank you to Jason as well for helping me out last night. Get everything figured out as much as possible, and Rebecca for everything she does for this team. And couldn't be doing this without them. So they're the main part of this team. So I thank them for that, and all of our partners and supporters: CSI Shocks, Blood Cat, BK Designs, Wiring Farm Equipment, Savior Setup Shop, Wraps and Stitches, Stucco, and Grass T3R, and everyone that supports us and this team, and all the fans out tuning in. My dad for watching all the time, and you guys for doing an awesome job broadcasting this event, and VLR for putting this show on. It's one of the biggest event of the year, and we're just going to try to do our best tomorrow.
All right. Well, the question. You got hopes and dreams and wishes and wants for that $5,000 if you pick it up tomorrow night.
We'll just try to save up and try to do our best.
There you go. So Alex Bergeron picking up the first qualifying feature of the night. Ben, if server 1 is a warm up to server 2, look out! It's going to be lights out for the nightcap.
That's what you saved your lunch money for. As we get set for the second server, we're, I believe, going to step aside and get ready for server number 2, where another 60 drivers are going to try to chase glory here at the 14th annual Schaeffer's Oil Spring Fling.
Yes, so I'm going to, let's run to the dingus quick, get a little refreshment, head on back, and we'll be back for server number 2 here just momentarily. We do thank and appreciate you from all of our great sponsors for tuning in to the Schaeffer's Oil 14th Annual Spring Fling presented by Team VLR here from Knoxville. We'll see you back here momentarily. Server 2 just around the corner.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.